The rain fell like a curtain of sorrow that November evening, each drop heavy and cold, drumming against the cracked pavement of Miller Street. Through the downpour, Sarah Mitchell spotted him, an elderly man, hunched and trembling, his thin jacket soaked through, leaning against a bus stop that offered no shelter. His white hair was plastered to his weathered face, and his hands shook as he gripped a worn wooden cane. Most people hurried past him, umbrellas tilted forward, eyes averted, their lives too urgent to pause. But Sarah, a single mother who knew what it meant to feel invisible and alone, couldn't look away. She pulled her old sedan to the curb, rain hammering her windshield, and rolled down the window. "Sir," she called out, her voice barely cutting through the storm, "please, get in. Let me take you home." If this story touches your heart, please hit that like button, drop a comment below telling us about a time kindness changed your day, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse for more inspiring stories that remind us of the beauty in humanity. Your support means the world to us. The old man looked up, his pale blue eyes clouded with confusion and exhaustion. For a moment, Sarah thought he might refuse, that pride or fear might keep him there in the rain, slowly losing himself to the cold. But then something shifted in his expression, to a flicker of gratitude, of recognition that someone had seen him. He shuffled toward the car, each step a labor, and Sarah jumped out to help him, ignoring the rain that immediately soaked her uniform from the diner where she'd just finished a double shift. She guided him into the passenger seat, carefully folding his cane and placing it between them. Up close, she could see how frail he was, his cheeks hollow, his lips tinged blue. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice like dry leaves scraping pavement. "I thought no one would stop." Sarah's heart clenched. She turned the heat up high and handed him the threadbare towel she kept in the backseat for her 7-year-old daughter, Emma. "Where do you live?" she asked gently. The old man gave her an address across town, nearly 30 minutes away in the opposite direction from her apartment. Sarah's gas tank was hovering near empty, and she had exactly $23 to last until Friday's paycheck. She needed that gas to get Emma to school, to get herself to work. But as she glanced at the trembling man beside her, his eyes closed as warmth slowly returned to his body. The decision was already made. Some things mattered more than money. During the drive, the old man introduced himself as Henry. He told her about missing his bus, about his daughter who lived 2 states away, about the arthritis that made walking painful and the loneliness that made living even harder. Sarah listened, sharing her own story, a widowed 3 years ago, working 2 jobs to keep a roof over Emma's head, struggling but surviving. By the time they reached Henry's modest house, something had passed between them, an understanding that only those who've known hardship can share. "You have a beautiful soul," Henry said as she helped him to his door. "I won't forget this kindness." The next morning, Sarah was woken by someone knocking on her apartment door. Standing in the hallway was a man in an expensive suit, holding a briefcase. "Miss Mitchell, I'm Robert Chen, attorney for Henry Whitmore. May I come in?" Confused and slightly frightened, Sarah let him enter. What he told her next made her knees weak. Henry Whitmore wasn't just any old man. He was the founder of Whitmore Industries, a manufacturing company worth millions. After his wife died, he'd fallen into deep depression, stopped caring about his appearance or wealth, and would often wander the streets alone, wanting to feel something real again. Last night, soaked and forgotten in the rain, he'd lost hope entirely, until Sarah stopped. Mr. Chen opened his briefcase and handed Sarah an envelope. Inside was a check that made her gasp of $50,000, and a letter in shaky handwriting. "Dear Sarah, you gave me more than a ride home. You gave me back my faith in humanity. This money is to help you and Emma build the life you deserve. Additionally, I've arranged a full scholarship fund for Emma's education, from elementary through university. Your kindness saved my life in ways you'll never fully understand. Use this gift not as charity, but as proof that goodness is never wasted. With eternal gratitude, Henry." Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she clutched the letter to her chest, overwhelmed by the impossibility of it all. Before we finish this beautiful story, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse. Let's spread these powerful reminders that compassion can change everything. Your engagement helps these stories reach more hearts. That afternoon, Sarah drove back to Henry's house with Emma. The old man opened the door with a warm smile, no longer the broken figure from the rain but someone restored by simple human decency. As Emma hugged him, calling him Grandpa Henry, Sarah realized the deepest truth: wealth isn't measured in money but in moments when we choose to see each other's humanity. That rainy November evening, two strangers had saved each other, one from the cold, one from despair, proving that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the most extraordinary miracles. In a world that often rushes past suffering, Sarah had stopped, and in stopping, she discovered that love and compassion are the greatest currencies we possess.